What's going on YouTube? This is Brian with Canvas the Town, talking to you today about Element Exploit the Rampage Deco, and why it is certainly not worth it for you to upgrade your Rampage slot over here at the smithy. So when you go into Curious Weapon Crafting, you have a couple things you can augment. Now generally you just want your attack boosted, you just want your element damage boosted. Now in Title Update 4 I made a video on how it was actually worth it to have 2 of every weapon, because you wanted to have the Rampage slot upgrade if it only had a 2 slot, because you would do so much more damage with the element exploit on the viable monsters. Now that is no longer the case. So if we take a look at the base damage, we have 98 element if we can get our 6 points into our elemental attack and 4 points into the Rampage slot upgrade. Now compare that to the other horn, because I did this just to test. I did it for 2 horns. This one has plus 53, right? And this one only has plus 38. So the boost that you get from the Rampage deco, from the element exploit deco, is literally negligible. So unless you're fighting a monster with only hit zone values over 25, which there's very few in the game, you're really not, you're just breaking even. You're doing a little bit more damage on the head and a little bit less damage, everywhere else. So it's no longer viable to ever consider upgrading your Rampage decoration, because I'll show you right here. Now, I haven't even gotten any boosts or anything, but that should be fine. Let's take a look at my shockwave damage with this. This is the element exploit horn. So I'm doing 104 on the belly, and how much do we do on the head? 163 on the head. So keep that in mind. 104 is on the belly, 103, 104, 104. And on the shockwaves on the head, 163s. So now I'm going to pull out the other horn, and you tell me if it makes sense. 115's on the belly, so that's like 10 more damage there. And 162 on the head. So you're doing, I think that's 1 less or 2 less points of damage on the head, and you're doing like 10 to 15 more points of damage on the belly. Like, oh my goodness. There's no reason to ever upgrade. Yeah, 116 versus we were doing like 12 more points of damage on the belly, and we're only doing 1 less point of damage everywhere else. So it doesn't really make sense, right? It doesn't really make sense. And of course you can run your anti-species decoration as you would expect. So what do you guys think? Is this an oversight from Capcom? Are they gonna buff element again to make this make sense, or did they just not care anymore and they were like, let's make the power levels so high that even your element exploit Rampage skill isn't gonna make a difference? You're just gonna do more damage boosting your element all the way up. I mean, this is nice because you no longer need 2 of every weapon, but at the same time it's like there's literally no reason to ever augment for a Rampage slot. It's just that I can't think of any. Let me see if there's any other reason you would do it. Alright, let's look at some of the level 3 decorations. So, we got decorations, Rampage decorations. So, all your new jewels are level 2. You got Wormstake is level 3. But, like, I don't think anyone. This is another thing that with the updates is just useless. Raging is cool, but again, with the updates, it's kind of useless. With all the new skills that get rid of, you have Heaven Sent, you have all these options. You don't need to worry about, increasing your affinity or having 100% affinity with this decoration when you can get 100% affinity with your skills. And we have File Switch Boost. So for the most part, I mean, Defense Master, you don't really, there's no reason to upgrade your slot. There's no reason to upgrade your slot and lose all of that elemental damage or all of that raw damage. It costs way too much and the return is too low. Now, if they modified the rules here and they made Sharpness Boost cost less, like take up less, well, not sharpness boost, if they made Rampage slot boost or upgrade cost less, because right now it costs, you know, 4 of your 10 augment slots, and if it costs maybe 2, it would be fine. I mean, it's really not a high value augment. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments. Am I tripping, or is this just a waste of time now to have a level 3 Rampage slot on something that needs to be augmented for it? Yeah, the power creep is real in Monster Hunter Rise Sunbreak. Hope you learned something new today. Hit like, hit that subscribe button. I'm making new Monster Hunter Rise Sunbreak content all the time. Peace out.